What's up YouTube? For today's video, with a full Honey Gather ability Pokemon team. Now this is going to be tough because Honey Gather does absolutely nothing in a battle. There's only 4 Pokemon that get this. It is Teddiursa, Combee, Cutiefly, and Ribombee. That's it. So this is a 4 Pokemon team with a terrible, terrible ability. And I've got today for you a few battles, and I hope you enjoy. Our first battle here, we got some random battle. This is against Joey, and we have a Sylveon lead. I've got 6 battles with this team as well, if I didn't mention. So this Sylveon is going to be setting up Carmines versus my Combee. Now, my Combee, well, as you know, Combee doesn't really get a lot of moves. So I've got Endeavor, Bug Buzz, Gust, and Sleep Talk, with a Focus Sash and, of course, Honey Gather. Now, I've got a question for you all. If you had to upgrade the Honey Gather ability, what will you do? Like, for a battle sort of use? How would you make this an ability that would work in battle? Now, for the purposes of this video too, I actually gave a Pokemon the Honey item. Maybe the item Honey could actually do something with the Honey Gather ability. I'm not sure, like give you a crazy amount of health, like full health back or something like that. I guess it depends on if any other Pokemon would get that. So Sylveon is going to fight me with the Endeavor, and that is going to be the end of Combee. Now, our next Pokemon to bring in is going to be Cutiefly. This Cutiefly is a troll set. So I've got max health, max speed with Timber Nature, Moonblast, Tailwind, Skill Swap, and Switcheroo. So first things first, we're going to get rid of that Sylveon. That's, very, very important. Now, our next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Porygon 2. Nice little hack one. And I thought to give this Switcheroo so I could give it my Honey and then steal its Everlight. I thought that would be a really, really cool idea. So we're going to outspeed the Porygon 2. We're going to give it that jar of honey. Give it that nice little jar of honey from the bees. And here comes an Ice Beam, which I'm able to live pretty well thanks to Max Health EVs. So I've got Skill Swap in this as well. I thought I may as well do that because it might have Analytic, and that would be a good one to get rid of. And I did. I got rid of its Analytic, and I gave it Honey Gather. So Honey Gather Porygon 2 only off hit my shell. Here comes a Terra Blast, and I wouldn't have lived that if I didn't get rid of its ability. So now I can go for a Moonblast or a Tailwind if I want to. So we're going to swap it into King Toilet, sorry. It's got that Supreme Flush, and I can go for a Moonblast and get some pretty nice damage here. I thought about actually going for Switcheroo or Skill Swap again to try and get rid of its abilities. I could maybe give it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't give it Analytic. That could be a bad idea. Maybe I should go Tailwind and, help in my team. In the end, I decided to go for some more damage. It's going to use Iron Head, and that is going to be the end of the Cutiefly. This team did have a lot of weaknesses as well. Like, I mean a lot of them, because they're quite similar kind of Pokemon. Next Pokemon's going to be Teddiursa. I guess Teddiursa likes to eat honey and stuff because it's a bear, so it makes sense. This is going to be a Focus Sash counter set, so I went for the counter here. On the King Gambit, so I was a little bit worried that Earthquake wouldn't faint it, and then I got flinched, so I was like, oh, come on. So I've got to go for Earthquake now and hope that it's enough to take out the King Toilet, and it was. So I guess I could have gone for it in the first place. I just wasn't 100% sure if it was going to faint, because King Gambit's got some pretty good bulk to it. This Teddiursa was Body Slam, Trailblaze, Earthquake, and Counter, Max Attack and Max Speed, Hasty Nature. So in comes Porygon 2 without an Everlight. I get a juicy fat crit and a Paralyze here. Now this made me think I might be able to set up against this thing if I've got a chance, right? So I'm going to feint to the Terra Blast. Terra Blast is actually a good move on Porygon 2 because it can still be stabbed, but it also, when it goes for a Terra, it can be a different Terra, so it's got 2 uses. So here's my last Pokemon, and my best Pokemon is Ribombee. So we've got Quiver Dance, Bug Buzz, Draining Kiss, and Terra Blast. My Terra is Fire as well, because my team is pretty weak to that, plus Ribombee can't really do a lot to any Steel-type Pokemon. So here I was actually able to get a couple of Quiver Dances up versus the Porygon, which was really, really helpful And I figured if I could get as many up as possible, I might be able to try and get a reverse sweep here, against this team. So Porygon is going to get paralyzed there, which is really, really cool. And I can just keep going for the Quiver Dance and maybe setting up on it. I thought about going for some more, but I was like, I could get 6 against this thing. I really could, but if I get critted, it might be bad. But I thought it was like well worth the risk because I've only got 1 Pokemon left, right? So now Porygon's going to go for a Terra Blast. Terra Blast does donkey, so we're good, right? And I can get my health back with Draining Kiss too. Now my item on this one is going to be Throat Spray, so I thought 2 Quiver Dances, was it 2 or 3 Quiver Dances I did, then a Throat Spray Bug Buzz, right? For another special attack boost. And I got that, which is really cool. Next Pokemon is going to be Indeedee, getting that Psychic Surge on the field. I thought, well, that's actually kind of handy because that means I'm going to be immune to any priority moves, which is good, you know. Not that I had a lot of Pokemon that I thought that would have it on their team, except for maybe Kingambit. So now I'm going to go for Bug Buzz. That is indeed the end of Indeedee. So 4 Pokemon down. I'm feeling good right now. We're getting this sweep. Next Pokemon to come out here is going to be Azumarill. I was like, oh, okay. So I've got Draining Kiss, and I thought, well, that should do some pretty good damage. I don't really want to go for Terra Fire, though. So I gave Azumarill a kiss, and did really good damage. But this is like max health, this one for sure. Absolutely max health. So the Azumarill is going to be eating a Citrus Berry. It's like, all right, are they going to go for Belly Drum, or are they just going to straight up attack me? But they did the opposite. They went for a Charm. I was like, what? So it was a Charm Azumarill. I don't know what Herba Mystica they're on, but they are going to faint to a second Draining Kiss. That's 5 Pokemon down there. Their last Pokemon on their team is going to be Hydrapple. I don't think this is living. Maybe, should I go for Terra Fire now? I mean, like, what can they do, right? So I went for a Bug Buzz, and that just dropped it. I was like, okay, well, that's the end of the battle there. That is the end of the battle, and as Hydrapple faints, they Salty Rage quit it. So that switch got snapped in half like a Kit Kat and got thrown out of the window and probably driven over by someone's car. So I hope you enjoyed that first battle, everyone. We got that Ribombee sweep there with a touch of salt. Next battle, this is a battle against, how do I say this name? Seidel, I think? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, we had a Skeledirge lead, and this is a very, very big counter on my team. So it turns out this was a Blaze set instead of Unaware, and I mean, it didn't really matter anyway. So Honeygather Skeledirge is going to be a big threat here. You'll probably never ever see anyone ever say that again. So that's down. So I thought, if I go into Teddiursa, I could go for Terra Ground, or I could just go for Earthquake. I decided to go for Earthquake. I got some big damage there. Really, really good damage with the crit. So I was happy with that. Here comes another Torch Song. Now, I do have Focus Ash, so I'm actually able to live that one rather nicely. Now, the Teddiursa can finish it off with another Earthquake, and then I wanted to go Trailblaze, but obviously it wasn't going to faint. So, yeah, that's the end of Skeledirge. So I was happy with that. 1 Pokemon down. Next Pokemon was Koraidon. I was like, oh, well, yeah, this is bad, right? There's nothing I can do here, right? I'm going to get dropped. This is also a no restrictions battle. So it was level, they had level 100s and stuff too. And obviously I had level 100s too. I always make sure my Pokemon are level 100 in case I ever go into a no restrictions battle. So that's the end of Cutiefly and Teddiursa. So I brought out the unit Combi. Combi got that Endeavor, got that Gust. I thought this could be good. I actually made a Koraidon swap with a Combi only on PIMPNITE's channel. You're never going to see that again. So they've got Miraidon and Koraidon. This is bad. Very, very bad. So I got that Endeavor off, and now they're going to go for a Electro Drift. They're like, well, that's going to take me down to 1 health. Fair enough, There's not a lot I can do here. At least I could put Miraidon down to 1 health. That'll be, that's going to be very, very handy. So I'm going to go for Endeavor here, put Miraidon on 1 health, and that's going to fate me with Electro Drift there. I like how Miraidon's head goes through those little lantern things. I'm trying to think of some more uses here for Honeygather. So I know you maybe if you have, I thought of a good one. If you get status by a move, Honeygather instantly heals you. What do you reckon? I think that's fair. I actually think that's fair, because Honey is known for healing and stuff like that. So Honeygather can instantly heal any status move at the end of the turn. I think that's fair, because it's only learned by a few Pokemon, and 4 Pokemon. I set up a Quiver Dance against Miraidon on it. It actually tanked that really, really well, which is cool. I'm going to finish it off with a Bug Buzz. Of course, that critical hit totally made it. So that's the end of Miraidon. So I've got a Quiver Dance up. And I also got a +1 from Throat Spray. Where I cut the battle, you can't see that I got a Throat Spray, but I did get one. Just thought I mentioned that. So Koraidon's going to come in here. I've got Terra Fire. I thought I could just go for Draining Kiss here. Do I waste my Terra? I feel like they're going to go for a Flare Blitz or something. So I went for the Terra Fire here, just in case it somehow lived. And it could still live. There's a small chance. If I say I got all of my health back, through Draining Kiss, and then they lived and went for Flare Blitz, I should be able to live that badly, you know, because it's not very effective. Ribombee doesn't have very good defenses and stuff like that. So that's going to take it out, which is excellent. So Koraidon and Miraidon are down. My EVs also are max special attack and max speed, modest nature. So I really, really wanted to hit as hard and, you know, fast as I possibly could. I did actually contemplate putting Big Root on here for more Draining Kiss, but in the overall thing, once you get enough Quiver Dances up, it doesn't really matter when you go for Draining Kiss because you get all of your health back anyway if you're one-shotting stuff. So that's going to drop Quackquavel there, which is awesome. That's 4 Pokemon down here. I think we're getting a sweep. And next Pokemon's Terrapagus. Like, oh. I mean, if I break its first move, its ability, and then I should be able to one-shot it, right? So we're going to go for Draining Kiss here on the Terrapagus. Sorry, I went for Terra Fire because that's my most powerful move. That also had the sun up there from the Koraidon, so it did heaps of damage. And they're going to go for Earth Power, so that doesn't fight me. And I'm going to finish off the Terrapagus with a nice, juicy, Draining Kiss. So Terrapagus is down. That's 5 Pokemon down. This is going absolutely, like, splendid. And they've got one more Pokemon left, being a Darkrai. Now, unless Darkrai has something like a Focus Sash, a Focus Band, it was not going to live that. So that is the end of Darkrai. I gave it a nice little sweet kiss for its bad dreams. And that is the end of the battle. Another Ribombee sweep there. Thank you, Sidel, for the battle. Thank you for not disconnecting as well, whoever you are. Let's get on to battle number 3. All right, our next battle here, this one is against Alex. Another random battle, lots of random battles today. And this is, sorry, I just need to adjust myself. This is a Avalugg lead, so you don't get to see normal Avalugg, hardly at all. So I thought to go for a Bug Buzz here on Combi because I know that Avalugg's special defense is virtually trash. So it's going to go for a Stone Edge. I thought it might go for a nice move, but regardless, you know, same sort of thing there. So I was like, all right, if I go for Endeavor here, that'll put it on 1 health, and then I can finish it off. However, the Avalugg is going to try and recover its health back. But in this case, it's going to be a little bit fruitless because I can get going for Endeavor over and over again. So they're going to go for the Icicle Crash, and that's the end of Combi. But I can basically take this out with any Pokemon on my team. So I decided to go into Teddiursa here. I thought this would be a good sort of swap in. Now, as you know, I've got Trailblaze on this set. I can freely increase my speed, and then I might be able to use, you know, counter on another Pokemon that's a really, really big threat, and they'll still have 1 HP to do, like, a Body Slam or something like that. So in comes Chestnut. Now, Chestnut was a bit of a tricky Pokemon because it can have items like Rocky Helmet. I know it gets Spiky Shield, and then, you know, it used Spiky Shield right away. So, like, all right, fair enough. Now, I went for counter this turn, so I thought I'd go for a fighting type move. There's a good chance of that. So counter's going to fail. Now it's going to have Pin Missile. Like, what the heck? So Pin Missile, I don't know. I really don't know whether they had loaded dice or they were just lucky enough to get all of the 5 hits there. But I went for counter this turn. Now, interesting thing about multi-hitting moves. If that countered all the damage those moves did, I would have fainted them. But it only took in, the counter only takes, and Miracle only take into the amount of damage that it does on the first hit. So I was a bit unlucky there. Now they're going to get a Quick Claw and they're going to get another Pin Missile. So Quick Claw, Pin Missile, Chestnut. Only on PIMPNITE channel. I need to take a sip. All right, having some nice G Fuel here, people. Code SALT, get that fat 20% off. Next Pokemon is going to be Cutiefly. So Cutiefly can easily feint this with Moonblast. Maybe, even with no special attack EVs, I think it's going to get hit like super, super hard. And I've also got Switcheroo too. So I thought I'd go for Switcheroo. I'll be nice. I'll give them a jar of honey, you know, and I'll take their Quick Claw. Because I've got to try and plan for an endgame sweep here. So I got a Quick Claw, and they're going to go for Earthquake. I'm like, oh, okay. Do they not have a fighting move at all? Because they've used Pin Missile, Earthquake, and Spiky Shield. I'm like, I wonder what else they have on this set. So I went for Moonblast here, and they're not protecting at all. They're just using not using Spiky Shield. Then they use Pin Missile, so I don't think they had anything to hit me with at all, outside of that. So they're going for Pin Missile again. That's 3 hits, and I was like, okay, it doesn't have loaded dice. So it was just, it was just lucky that they got those 5 hits on the very first one. So I thought, I don't think they've got a lot to hit me with. Let's go for Tailwind, get the Tailwind, and then I'll finish them off with the Moonblast. Fortunately for me, they actually went for the Spiky Shield this turn, so I can go for a Moonblast again, and that'd be really, really cool. So now I got a Quick Claw, which definitely makes a massive difference under Tailwind, and I can finish them off with a Moonblast there. So this is good. This Cutie Fly is popping off right now. It's absolutely popping off. Now, the next Pokemon to come is going to be Talonflame. Like, ooh, this is bad. This is real bad. I would love to get a skill swap on this. I was thinking skill swap or switcher. I was like, I won't give it Quick Claw. I'll go skill swap and get rid of its ability. So I'm going for that skill swap, and I got Flame Body. It doesn't have Gale Wings. It's got Flame Body, and I swapped it around there. So now they're going to go for Flame Charge, and of course that's going to be enough to take out my Cutie Fly. Now, Fire Pokemon were really, really good counter to this team. Like, 3 of my Pokemon were weak to it. So I thought I'd go into the Ribombee here, and I could bait out a fire move. So say I go Terra Fire, then Quiver Dance. I've got Tailwind up as well, so I know I can at least outspeed this turn. And then if I get a Quiver Dance up, then I can outspeed the Talonflame, or match it anyway. Because Ribombee is actually really, really fast. It's actually quite a good, very, very good Quiver Dance Pokemon. So I've got that Terra Fire outspeed thanks to the Tailwind. And I boosted my speed and special attack. Now, this definitely is going to go for Flame Charge or a Fire-type move, or maybe Brave Bird, but it went for Flamethrower. I was like, what? It's a mix set, so that really did take me by surprise. I didn't expect that, so I had a mix set. So I was like, do I go for Quiver? I really don't have a lot to hit them with, so I went for Bug Buzz. Like, that'll do nothing, but at least I'll get my special attack boosted, and then I might be able to go... Terra Fire afterwards. I just didn't know what to do with those. So then they went for a Brave Bird. I'm like, oh no. And I just, only narrowly, I just lived there. So they took a bit of nasty recall. I've got Terra Blast Fire. I thought, let's go for that. At least it's not going to be like, at least it's going to be my most powerful move. And it was enough to take it out. It would have been really, really close. So Talonflame is down, thank goodness. I was like, yes, I can make my comeback here. So they've got one other Pokemon left, and Greninja slides in and goes for Water Shuriken. I'm like, oh, come on. And that is the end of the battle there. Their other Pokemon was, I think they had Iron Hand, so I think I would have beaten that pretty easily with a Draining Kiss. That wouldn't have been a problem at all. Anyway, that is the end of the battle there. That Water Shuriken Greninja. That was lucky. Next battle here, we are battle number 4. This one is against Super Bowser, and we have an interesting team here. Interesting team of Pokemon. So our first Pokemon here is going to be a Klefki. So I thought, maybe I could go for Switcheroo or Skill Swap. I went for Skill Swap. I thought I might be able to get Prankster. The Klefki is going to go for Switcheroo. Watch this, right? So my Honey gets swapped over onto the Klefki, and I got a Sticky Barb. I was like, oh, hell no. That's bad. I don't want to have a Sticky Barb, right? That'd be bad, because Sticky Barb does, like, damage you every single turn. The only real way to get it is through, like, Switcheroo, or if you have, say the opponent consumes an item, and then they hit you with a contacting move, the Sticky Barb will then transfer onto them. So it's basically it's a troll item. It could be quite difficult to actually get it to use, because say the opponent doesn't, consume their item or whatever like that, you actually don't get to transfer it. So I went for Moonblast here. I really had not a lot to hit this thing with, and it's a Steel Beam Klefki, and that is going to absolutely dominate Cutie Fly. So at least I got to get rid of its Prankster. I gave a Honey Gather. Honey Gather Klefki. Next Pokemon's Teddiursa. I've got Earthquake on this. I thought that'd be good to go for there. However, the Klefki is going to outspeed and go Switcheroo. So I'm now going to get, Honey on my Teddy Ursa finally got its a jar of honey, and I got rid of my focus sash, which kind of sucks because I wanted to use that for counter. But anyway, the troll Klefki is finally gone. I'm glad because that was messing all my strategies up. Next Pokemon is Tynamo. Look how tiny this is. Now, Tynamo is, it only learns like a couple of moves. So I thought, I'll go for Body Slam. This should take it out, unless it's like a bulky troll set. I went for the Body Slam. I don't even know how did that live? And then my honey got knocked off. So my honey, like, Teddy Ursa is very upset now. Wait, it's not Everlight. It's got leftovers. That's just sad. I can't believe I failed to find a Tynamo in a children's game of Pokemon. How does that even happen? So I went for Trailblaze on the Tynamo and fainted. I had to get it back for that knockoff on my honey, you know? I actually really like honey. So we got the next Pokemon is Totodile. I don't know what this means. It's like something to do with Snorlax or something. And I really, back on the subject of honey, I really like, you know, you have toast in the morning, right? Or whenever you have toast. I like honey on toast. That's really good. So nice, right? Just or on a crumpet. Nothing like a crumpet with some honey on there. That tastes good as well. I don't know how it would go. I don't know how it would go on like waffles or anything like that. I'm not really sure. I really like some biscuits as well. You have like biscuits. They're like honey biscuits. They're super nice. So I don't know. Tell me your best honey recipe. I'd like to know. I'm actually feeling super hungry right now, so this talking about food isn't really doing very good for me at the moment. Next Pokemon is Totodile. We got rid of the first, and here's another one. We got this is a shiny Totodile. I'm kind of wondering for Legend ZA as well. I'm sure the starters will get a Mega. What typing the Feraligatr will be? Will it be like a crazy good typing like Water Dragon, or will it be Water Dark? Interesting. Like, I think it's going to be Water Dragon or Water Dark. That's my that's sort of like my things, my predictions. If we do get Megas, then I reckon we will though. Anyway, so in comes the Totodile. It's going to go for a Hydra. Holy crap, that did a lot of damage. So Hydro Pump puts my combi down onto 1 HP, and I managed to get a Bug Buzz off. So that's enough to take it out, which is good. So Klefki, Tynamo, and both of the Totodiles gone. That's some quality performance right there. And next Pokemon is Alcremie called Cum Girl. Oh my goodness. It's a strawberry flavored one as well. Like this is a meme that's gone back a while now. It's a surprise trade Alcremie with this nickname, and it's stuck in my community, you know. Oh wait, I should have said that. God damn. Just forget I said that. Anyway, like I was like, all right, what is this Alcremie gonna be? It's a Stellar Alcremie. I was like, all right, I'll go for Endeavor. I put it on 1 HP, right? Then the Alcremie used Stellar Metronome, and it got Dragon Hammer. I was like, what? How does it even go? That's crazy. What is it gonna do? So it goes for Dragon Hammer and takes out my combi. Like, disrespect. I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna disrespect this Alcremie. I need to pay it back right. So we got Ribombee here. I'm like, I might be able to set up Quiver Dances against this because there's still another Pokemon left, and I want to make sure I can hit this really, really hard. So I've got a free Quiver Dance, and then I could go Bug Buzz and faint it. Instead of just fainting it with Draining Kiss or whatever like that. The chance of it getting a move that's good against me is like going to be very, very low. So I've got this Quiver Dance going, right? I was like, okay, this is good. Hopefully they just use like a crappy move that does not hardly any damage yet. So Alcremie's going to go for that Metronome again, and it gets I was like, no way. A Stone Edge Stellar? I was like, geez, I don't know if I'm going to live it. And I just lived it. I was like, no, I got to faint this thing now. So I've got that Draining Kiss. I was like, let's give it a kiss goodnight, and that is the end of Alcremie. Man, that was scary. If that had any attack EVs in it at all, I was dead. So that's the end of the Alcremie. Actually, Stella looks quite good on it. Looks quite good. So it sort of suits it, the look of it. Last Pokemon is Smeagol. Like, what is this going to be? What will this set be? So I've got Terrifier. I gave it a kiss, and it had Bright Power. I was like, oh, hell no. So it used Ember, and it was so close. I almost died to Ember. I'm like, I'm not losing to a Metronome Stellar Alcremie with Dragon Hammer and a Smeagol with Ember. I refuse to lose. So we're going to go for a Desperation Terror here, a little Timmy Terror, and I'm going to have to go for Draining Kiss. This better not miss, though. That's what I was worried about. So we got that Fire. I can resist the Ember. I can resist the Smeagol's Ember. I think this is Ultra Sun and Moon. How did that live? Okay, Smeagol somehow lived that attack. I got my health back, and then it uses leafage. This is a throwback to Ilma's Smeagol in Ultra Sun and Moon 2. If you ever watched my original playthrough for that, I had a few problems against this Smeagol. Anyway, I'm going to show Smeagol what a real fire move is, and that is the end of the battle. Phew, I almost lost to Ember. Almost lost to Ember Smeagol. I wouldn't have about to redeem myself on that one. That is battle number 4. Let's get on to battle number 5. Let's do it. All right, this is the battle against Kottmeistern. It's been a long time since we've actually had a battle, and we've got some sort of theme team here, I guess. So we've got to do what to do, and we're gonna go for a skill swap here. We're gonna get them skill issues. So we've got that Honey Gather, and I got Torrent, which is gonna be obviously very, very, very handy for all those water type moves I've got. So here comes Focus Energy. It's a critting set, I believe. So it's got. I'd say it's got its signature move, Razor Shell, maybe. So I'm going to go for a switcheroo here. I was like, maybe if it's got an Everlight, I could get myself an Everlight, which would be really cool. So I got a Razor Claw. So, okay, so it's going to be critting with that. It's a fully critting set. So Ice Beam actually crits me. Even if Focus Energy gives 2 stages anyway. Then it had Vacuum Wave, but Vacuum Wave, even with a crit, was not enough to take out max health Cutie Fly. You know, it's a bit of a beast, I gotta say that. Cutie Fly, you know, so bulky and stuff, right? So here comes another Vacuum Wave trying to vacuum them flies up, because, you know, that's one fly gone. And we're gonna go for another Moon Blast here. We're gonna try and get some damage. And I didn't do a lot of damage, but it was better than nothing. So that's going to be the end of the Cutie Fly. It did its job. I gave them a honey. I got rid of their ability. You know, the trolling was successful. So we're going to go into our next Pokemon. Our next Pokemon is going to be Teddiursa. So Teddiursa does have Earthquake. It does have Body Slam, and also has Trailblaze as well. I thought, maybe I could use Trailblaze and increase my speed. I definitely don't think I should go for a Terra Ground here. That could be very bad. Or maybe I should do that. They wouldn't expect it. I was thinking about this for a while, what I should do. I was like, you know what? I'll just go for Body Slam. Here comes the Aqua Jet. It's like a complete mix set with priority moves and stuff like that. And Body Slam almost takes that. It's not quite enough though. I'm thinking they've probably got some health EVs on there too to be able to live that Body Slam. Like that. So that's the end of Do What. Maybe it was something like max special attack and max attack, or max health and split defenses. I don't know. Next Pokemon's going to be called Skid Leg Day. Oh wait, I get it. Skip Leg Day. You know that G-Max Grimmsnarl. That's Skip Leg Day. So we've got a grassy terrain Skiddo. So I think this might be a grassy pelt set. Grassy Pelt is actually a pretty cool ability. It's like 50% extra defense under the grassy terrain. It's pretty cool. So I'm going for Body Slam. Let's be real. It's not doing a lot of damage, but I did get a Paralyze, which is nice. It's going to have Horn Leash, and that's going to recover a lot. So it's getting boosted by grassy terrain too, base power, and it's healing the little Skiddo. So I don't have a lot to do here. I might be able to get maybe 1 or 2 more Body Slams off, depending on if I get lucky with Paralysis. So I'm going for another one. And I didn't get one. So that's the end of Teddiursa. You did a pretty solid job there. It was all good. Now, I've still got my Ribombee in the back, which generally I left to the last, especially with this team. So some more recovery there from the grassy terrain. We're going to bring in Combi. I thought Combi should be able to take this out with Bug Buzz, hopefully. It had max special attack. I was like, I don't want to get rid of my Focus Sash. I was hoping it would take it out, and it didn't. It did nothing. So now the Skiddo is going to go for a Horn Leech, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but obviously Combi resists that. This Combi was Hasty Nature, max speed and max special attack, if you were curious about that. So Skid Leg Day is going to faint, which is good. We took out a Skiddo in a children's game of Pokemon. I'm feeling good about that, real good. Next Pokemon is going to be Paw Pow. Okay, that's not a bad name. Where's Paw Pow's legs gone? I think they've gone in. They've clipped into the floor. So I've got Endeavor, and I've got Bug Buzz, and I've got Gus. There really wasn't a lot to do to this Pokemon. Maybe I was like, maybe I should go Endeavor. You know, at least I can get some damage. However, I got outsped, and it's going to throw a Substitute up, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm going to use Endeavor. Endeavor will definitely break the Substitute. Definitely. So The only thing I have to worry about, if it keeps going substitute, I guess I can keep using Endeavor. That's not going to be that bad. Plus, Bug Buzz can get through the sub. So I was like, instead of using Endeavor, how about I go for Bug Buzz? And at least that'll get through the sub and I can get some damage. So I went for that, and it actually did the right damage. I was happy with it. I was like, ooh, maybe the next one should be able to, feint this. Then it's going to have Mach Punch. So clearly, I don't know what sort of set this was, but clearly it only had fighting moves. Maybe they wanted to get a little bit lower for other reasons, but I'm not sure what the other moves actually were on that thing. So that's the end of Paw Pal. Or what, Paw Patrol. Next Pokemon is going to be a Haunter. Haunting Task. Yes, that's a... I don't know what this could be, because Haunter can do lots of things. Then it used Mean Look. I'm like, oh no. This is going to be something like Perish Song or something, the Destiny Bond, So I'm going for Bug Buzz, but as you can see, I really can't do a lot of damage there. Now it's going to use Perish Song, so it's going to trap my little combi in. I really, really need to feint this before it uses Perish Song on my... So I've got Ribombee left, and maybe they swap their Haunter out. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, right? Because if that uses Perish Song on my last Pokemon, that means I've got 3 turns, and then I'm cooked, right? So I'm trying to get as much damage here with the gut. That was a crit. Was that a crit? I don't know. They did lots of damage there. So 2 more turns left. Combi's actually looking pretty good right now. Haunter really seems to be a passive set. It can't do a lot to me at all. Then I went Gust and I almost took it out. So 1 more turn on each. Haunter could swap out here. I was thinking maybe I should go for Endeavor this turn. That could be a better idea in case we get a swap. However, it's going to use Destiny Bond. It had Destiny Bond and Perish Song. Funnily enough, I went for Endeavor here. So Haunter didn't take me out of the Destiny Bond, and both our Perish Songs went to 0, so we both fainted on this turn, which is pretty funny. I guess they didn't want to, use that Haunter later on. They just wanted to, sacrifice one of my Pokemon. So there you go, Combi and Haunter, 1v1. Their next Pokemon is Giraffre, called Turtleneck. Wait, why is it called Turtleneck for? Has it got like a collar or something? Oh, wait, yeah, I get it, I understand. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go for a Bug Buzz here. That's super effective, but I don't know what sort of terror this thing's going to be. So we got that Giraffre. It's going to be, it's going to be Stellar. Ooh. So it's going to be Stellar Giraffre. That actually kind of suits it as well. Oh, I get it. Wait, the Turtleneck Stellar. I understand now, because it sort of looks like, the turtleneck colt. I'm guessing that's, unless it's another reference. Am I missing a reference there? Anyway, Giraffre falls down like a pack of cards. Last Pokemon is going to be Woolsome. Like wholesome, but Woolsome. That's very Woolsome. We got Bug Buzz. We got Terra Blast Fire. I thought I'll go for Terra Blast Fire here because I've got a +1 in special attack. Now, I don't know whether this is an Everlight set or not, or how bulky it's going to be. I have used Flaffy Everlight before. It can be pretty tanky. I mean, Ampharos is pretty tanky itself too. So we're going to go for that Terra Blast +1, and we're going to try and roast that. It done a lot of damage. That was 3/4 damage. The next move the Flaffy's going to use is Charge, but unfortunately, Flaffy took a lot, like way too much damage there at the start. Like if it managed to get that off before, it would have been okay. Plus, I can see that is actually not Everlighted. It's leftover. So if it was Everlighted, sure, it would have lived the next one. Absolutely. I don't know what sort of set it would have been. Maybe it's like Charge and Charge Beam or Rest or something like that. Some sort of like tanky sweeping set. Anyway, that is the end. I have no idea what that team was, but it was some cool Pokemon for sure. Let's get on to the 6th and final battle here. This is a long battle. This is the battle against Bevel with Pickles, and we got a Quillfish lead. So I was a bit scared of Quillfish because it was pretty good against most of my team. I need to take another sip, people. I did a stream this morning, and my voice is a little bit hoarse. I got them Mudsdales. Excuse me. Okay. So with this Quillfish lead, I thought if I can get a Tailwind up, maybe swap it out its ability, swap out its item. I can't do a lot with Moonblast. It's pretty bad. So we're going to go for a switcheroo. I want to see what the item this one has. Maybe it's got a good item. So I gave it a jar of honey. I'm a nice person. A focus band. So a focus band Quillfish. Then Quillfish uses minimize. I'm like, oh, what is this scum? So this caused me quite a bit of problems because obviously minimize Pokemon, they're difficult to hit. So I went for skill swap, I got rid of Poison Point and gave a Honey Gather. So things are going well. Like this Cutie Fly's entire role was to give someone honey and give them Honey Gather. If it did any more than that, it was a bonus, right? So it's gonna have Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave and Minimize. This is just pure scum. And I guess Poison Point too, so the opponent could poison themselves. I guess, you know, if they were immune to Thunder Wave, at least they might be able to activate, the poison. So I'm going for Moonblast here. I'm not going to do a lot of damage anyway. Now, I also have Terra Ghost in this one as well. I can see what sort of set this is too. So this is a Parafusion set. So Water Pulse has 30% chance to confuse, and with the Thunder Wave too, that's a chance of Parafusion if it does confuse. So that's kind of mean. I would never do a set like that. Plus Minimize, so you'd miss like all of your attacks. So I got a Moonblast off, but only one of them. So here's another Water Pulse. Cutie Fly is just hanging in here, but there's no way I can do any damage to this at all. I actually managed to get two of them in a row, which is pretty cool. Another Water Pulse from the Quillfish. So Cutie Fly did its job there. I was happy with this. I was happy. It did pretty good there. So I thought the next Pokemon I need to swap in is going to have to be Teddiursa. If I can get an Earthquake off here against this Quillfish, it could be good. I thought about going for Terra Ground Earthquake. I knew it wouldn't be a bad idea for damage, but it would be bad if I got hit by a Water Pulse. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice here. If they go for Thunder Wave, it won't affect me. And that'll give me like 2 turns to hit an Earthquake. Hopefully I can do it, and this should be enough to take out the Quillfish. Or things go really, really bad, and I miss every single move. But Earthquake lands on the first go. I was like, what? So here comes the Earthquake on the Quillfish, and it drops. I was like, yes, that was so lucky. I think that might have swept my team. It might have. I don't think I could. I might not have been able to beat that. Next Pokemon is going to be Meganium. Oh, speaking of Meganium, speaking of which, are you still watching the video at the moment? Let me know, people. I always like to know if you're enjoying the longer content. I know I always like to ask that, but I do value your opinions a lot, my viewers and stuff like that. So I appreciate you all. What do you think Meganium's, if it does get a Mega, what do you think it'll be? A lot of people are saying, Grass and Fairy and stuff like that, which, definitely could be a good combination. But would that benefit Meganium at all? It would then be, I know it will get Fairy typing, but then it will be 4 times weak to poison and stuff like that. So I guess it all depends what moves would it get? What extra stats would it get? Would it just be a tank like Meganium normally is? Or will it be a sweeper, physical sweeper, special sweeper? What moves will it get like Moonblast? Will it get Quiver Dance? Would it get, I don't think it would get Nasty Plot, but it would have to get some sort of really decent broken combination to make it quite a threat with that typing, you know what I mean? Because Meganium definitely needs, he needs something. Anyway, I couldn't do a thing to this Meganium, and it was using the forbidden S word as well. So I got this combi. I thought maybe I could get around with Bug Buzz and Endeavor, and Bug Buzz was actually doing some pretty good damage to it. This was a Leech Seed jungle healing Meganium, it was very, very hard to get around. Very, very tanky and lots of recovery and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some other ways to improve Meganium. Like Moonblast would be good. I doubt it would get Quiver Dance. Oh, it also had Mud Slap as well. I think the Meganium actually was walled by my combi because it couldn't land Mud Slap. It could only use Leech Seed. It had a healing move. I don't think it's got anything else actually to even use against me. So I'm going for Bug Buzz here. I'm really putting some pressure on this Meganium at the moment because it has to heal over and over. Because people like using this move against me. They absolutely love it. So some more Leech Seeds. I was thinking to myself too, if I can get Meganium, if Meganium sort of gets me down to a low amount of health with Leech Seed, I can then use Endeavor. And then I can bring in my Ribombee to actually feint it. If it actually comes to that. I wasn't 100% sure. Charm is the other move. So yeah, it can't touch combi at all outside of Leech Seed. It's that's it. It can't actually do anything at all to combi. So combi I got the type advantage, I deliberately picked the male combi as well, just for laughs. So Meganium is going to have a special defense drop. That's excellent. And the next Bug Buzz is going to be doing lots and lots of damage. What's Bug Buzz? It's like 10%, right? Yeah, 10% chances. So it's not very, very high, but if you do like quite a lot of turns, you eventually get one. So Meganium's got like, let's say 3/4 of health left. I'm going for Bug Buzz here. I thought if I could feint Meganium and then maybe use Endeavor on the next Pokemon as well. So they're trying to PP Stormy at the moment. Or sorry, well, HP Stormy, not PP Stormy. With the, with the Leech Seed and stuff like that. I think I need like 3 more Leech Seeds to actually feint right now. So Meganium is virtually back to full health. I'm nearly out of my Bug Buzzers here. So I'm going for it. I really need another special defense drop. I really do need one. Plus, I guess I am using up Meganium's healing move here. So after that Leech Seed, I was like, will this be enough to actually feint it? I don't think it will be. I think it'll be very close, but I think Meganium might just live. But I went for it anyway, and that was not quite enough to feint. It was very close. Now Meganium is going to go for another healing move here. It must be through at least half. I think it's got max PP of 8. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. It does have a PP of 8. Maybe it's got a bit more because of where it's weather. Maybe it's got like 15 or something like that. Anyway, I was on 2 health and I went for Endeavor because there was no way I was feinting that at all. Absolutely no way. So Combi is going to feint at last to the Leech Seed from Meganium, but Meganium's only got, you only have like, 3 health left because Leech Seed stole 2, so it gets like half. So yeah, it had 3, and it had 3 health. Look at this, ready? It didn't even move. So we're going to bring in Teddiursa. The coast is clear. I can use Trailblaze or Body Slam. Meganium actually outsped me and managed to get a Leech Seed up before I was able to actually feint it too. But I thought, it doesn't matter. As long as I can, keep one-shotting Pokemon, I should be right. But, it was Teddiursa, so I don't know how much one-shotting I was actually going to do. Now, our next Pokemon's going to be Milotic. This is bad. This is another thick Pokemon. I've got Earthquake and Trailblaze, and this is going to be an Attract. Like, what are with these sets? First we had Leech Seed Meganium, now we've got Attract Milotic. This takes forever to actually feint these Pokemon, because like, I hardly ever get to attack and stuff. So I managed to get 1 attack off on the first go, which is good, but I wasn't really expecting a lot of damage here. And it's like a after Leech Seed, it's like a 4-hit KO. If I get to attack every single turn, that is, right? So Milotic's getting some health back. I was thinking to myself, maybe I should swap here, but I don't really want to swap into Ribombee at all because I would like to swap it in and set up a few Quiver Dances, and then I could go for Draining Kiss and get my own recovery. And also I get to see what moves that the Milotic has as well, because it's got like, it's just an annoying troll set, basically. These are movesets I would never use. So Teddiursa is going to get Immobilized this turn, and Milotic's going to get some Marshall. More Big Suck here, it's going to have most of its health back in like 2 turns. So the other move is Dragon Breath, and Dragon Breath can paralyze as well. So it's another paralyzing, Leech Seeding, attracting set. Like, all these like really cool sets that I totally wouldn't use. So I went for the Trailblaze. I thought if I can outspeed Milotic, that would be better. And then I can maybe get like 1 more attacking move off it. Before I die to whatever it is, Dragon Breath or whatever. So Milotic's got like maybe a third of its health is now gone. I went for the Body Slam for Paralyze here, and I was hoping I could get through the Infatuation and stuff, and I did. I was like, yes, this is great. So I got Body Slam off, pretty good damage, and I got a Paralyze. I was like, yes, that's great. So this will actually allow my Ribombee to get some damage off, and then the Milotic out recover. I was like, no. So I got all its health back again. And Leech Seed, I think it's going to give all of its health. But this shit was so annoying, man. So that's the end of Teddiursa. It did a pretty solid job there. Now I've got Ribombee with Quiver Dance and Draining Kiss. So I just needed to get enough of these off here. Now, Ribombee's ability, normally it gets Sweet Veil as well, and it also gets Shield Dust too, which is, they're not really powerful abilities. So, first things first, I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz. I'm going to get that special attack boost from that, and then from there I could either go for Quiver Dance and Draining Kiss combination. So, Milotic clearly is going to go for another Confuse Ray. Actually, it can't go for Attract at all. So, at least it can't go for Attract, because Attract is a big one. Because that's like 50% chance to do like absolutely nothing. And a Confusion is, it's okay, but a lot of the time you can actually get around it. So I went for another Bug Buzz here. Milotic is going to feint on the next one. So it's wild. It can't do a lot. It also can't use Dragon Breath either. The only thing it can do is Confusion Recover. So they're virtually wild here. Absolutely wild. So I went for another Bug Buzz and I took out the Milotic. Like, I could have gone for more quick answers there, but this battle had already gone on for like a fat amount of time. Last Pokemon is Dragonite, and it's called Pickle Knight. Now, people love using shiny Dragonites against me because they know that I absolutely hate the shiny. So now we've got a Terra Dragonite. I was kind of curious what this would actually be. Well, you know, what sort of set would it even be? And it's a Terra Fire one. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. Well, I can't even Terra. I can't Terra because I've got, I did it with Teddiursa. So I went for a Draining Kiss there to get like maximum amount of suck. And unfortunately, it's going to fail because Dragonite Terra Fire and then punched my Ribombee in the face. And that's the end of the battle. Hope you guys joined the Honey Gather team. It was difficult, man. It was fun though, but very, very difficult. All right, everyone. Peace out.